morning, everybody. We are headed to pick up the new motor for the green car for this season. A couple videos back, I told you I was having a LS built because this was going to be the easiest way to get me out racing this year. I don't like missing racing, so if I were to put the Coyote in the car now, I probably wouldn't be out racing this year. That motor's got to get gone through. I haven't decided on how robust I want to make that motor yet. Like, there's guys making 1200 plus, 1300 plus horsepower on stock sleeves, but on what borrowed time? So I'm trying to decide if I want to sleeve it, rod and piston, go through all that. So that is, I don't want to say it's on the back burner, but it's not this year's concern. I'm slowly collecting parts for it. You know, odds and ends stuff that I need right now. Nothing of the high performance because I'm still doing my research on it, deciding on what I want. So I've already got like a new starter for it, which is, it fits in the palm of my hand. It's amazing. Alternator, all new gaskets, stuff like that. So we'll dig into that later. So today I had a LC9 Gen 4 5.3 block, all completely machined by RPE in Hartford. This is who a lot of race guys use. I didn't have them assemble it. The bill was a little bit higher than I anticipated, so I needed to save some money somewhere. I can file piston rings and, you know, torque bolts. It's not really, I've done it enough times. You know, the hard part is setting clearances, getting your bearings right, and all that stuff, which that's what I just paid for. So I can go over the whole invoice with you guys. It's like 2 pages on what he did. He balanced the rotating assembly, measured everything. I didn't bring him main or rod bearings because I'm like, you do that, you figure out what you need. Set main and rods, machine the main caps, line hone the mains because there's head studs, main studs in it. Drilled the block for 1/2-inch head studs. He drilled my heads for the same thing. Like, a lot of work went into the block. This is going to be a stout motor, even though it's a budget motor. It's got a K1 crank, K1 rods, Summit Pro pistons, AFR Enforcer heads, which will have, I just told Scotty yesterday to order all my stainless valves for it. Thought about going Inconel exhaust. I don't think I'm going to need it for this. So, Inconel exhaust, no, stainless intake and exhaust. A little bit bigger than stock. I think it's 202 160s, something like that. A lot of people are like, oh, you can't use that on a stock 5.3 bore. I have friends with these exact heads on their cars with the same size valves with no issues. So, and BTR springs and retainers. I have my same cam that was repaired by Delta Cam. BTR twin turbo stage 3 cam, I think it is. Yeah, stage 3. Stage 3? Yeah, sounds about right. So we're driving up now to pick up the motor, and then I have to go to the shop. Today's a work day, so I gotta go to the shop and finish out the week strong there. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna start assembling. We're gonna start filing rings. Dave's gonna come up. We're gonna start filing rings, getting rings set, getting rings on pistons, getting rods on pistons, getting the crank in. We'll see how far we get tomorrow. I'm in no rush. I still need some parts so that I can assemble it and put it all in the car. So we'll see how far we get. And we'll pick back up with you guys in a little while. I'm going to enjoy my bacon, egg, and cheese, my favorite drink in the whole wide world, and a cappuccino. Talk to you later. We made it home. Some assembly required. But man, look how clean this block is. There's a little bit of corrosion. Can't really do much about that. It's so deep. This, catch that one spot with my nail, but really can't feel it. looks great. Plug the towers for me. You can see everything's been blocked, cleaned up. Brand new cam bearings. Every single bolt hole has been tapped, or chased, I should say. God, this block is nasty. This is going to get a little Luma blast. New, you can see where you measure the rods, mains. New plugs. All new plugs, huh? Yeah. Yep. Look at that, huh? A brand new motor. He even puts on there, what, 60 foot-pounds, 50 foot-pounds, 20 foot-pounds. Very, very thorough. Very, very clean. And there. Man, it looks great. New plug there, too. Drilled for 1/2-inch studs. Solid dowels. You know, not like the press ones. This block definitely needs to get painted. This is terrible. I ordered a can of Luma Blast already. So yeah, so we have to start assembly on this bad Larry. Heads, crank, pistons, rods, lifters, cam, oil pickup, head studs, timing set, hardware, covers, flex plate, balancer with bolt. I still need valve springs. I told Scotty the other day to order my valve springs. Might have been yesterday. He ordered my oil pump the other day. Need the oil pump to... I'm gonna up my drain size for my turbos, and I'm gonna move the drains back on the pan. So right now they're like up in the front there. I'm gonna move them back further, and what I'm gonna try to do is, instead of having this hose run in around the diaper, I'm gonna try to come in the front and swoop it down. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. I'm gonna see if that's gonna work, and swoop the drain in. Is it gonna work? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna give it a shot. But before the pan goes onto the engine, we're gonna weld -12 bungs in it, because the worst thing that happens is I cap them and call it a day. I just want to stare at it. It's so pretty. RPE. Bobby at RPE through Scotty. He said he's actually not taking work right now because of how busy he is. So, yeah, if you're in the area, I would see if you can get on a waiting list, because did a very, very nice job. Oh, F me. I forgot my torque wrenches at the shop. Oh, fuck. Oh, the last thing I wanted to do was drive down to the shop tomorrow. I want to put this motor together. I'm going to need them, though. All the studs in, lubed, tightened down, crank's in. It's not torqued yet. I gotta get my torque wrench. I have a torque wrench here, but I don't trust it that much. So I have to get my digitals tomorrow. I really can't do much else. Put the cam in it. I guess we can do that, and then we can start assembling the rods onto the pistons. Pistons onto the rods. They repaired it. It only took off like 2/1000th lift, something like that. Something stupid. I sent it in a beautiful, if anybody's gotten a BTR cam, you know how nice their cam boxes are. Sent it in a beautiful cam box. They sent it back in this cardboard piece of junk. I don't even think it was in a bag, because I would have left it in a bag. Look how dirty it is. And they did a phenomenal job. I can't even see where it was repaired. So I just wish I didn't. They didn't have such. And it took months to get. Oh, you can see some nicks right there. That don't matter. if you're still using blue shop towels at home, you need to buy one of these. This is from White Bowl. It's on Amazon. It's about 70 bucks a roll. You're like, oh, sounds like a lot. There's 450 of these sheets in there. Like, they're pretty stout. I found these for my shop. We had these when I worked at Honda, and they're the best things ever, and they save you so much money in the long run. Do yourself a favor, get that. They also have a wall mount bracket. I just don't know where to put it. Always get a brand new, genuine cam cover. Always. No exceptions. Spiral locks are by far one of the hardest things for me to do. They suck to do, but the worst part about spiral locks for me is I needed carpal tunnel surgery years ago, and like my fingers are numb right now. They're killing me. I got one more rod to go. It's problematic, to say the least, and it's something I can't get fixed because I work with my hands almost every single day running the shop, and I physically can't afford to take weeks and weeks off to have carpal tunnel surgery to fix my issues, because I work with them every day. Hence why I have this problem. I watched my wife go through the surgery, and some people get them done both at once, and it's like, it's, you know, I had to help her with a lot of stuff, and I couldn't even imagine doing that with the shop right now. So we're just going to keep fretting on. I gotta take a little break before I do this last one, because, man, my hands are killing me. And I still have to grind all them piston rings. Borrowed Dave's piston ring thing, but I need a new wheel, so I bought my own off Amazon. A little cheapo for like 25 bucks. It gets the job done. It may take longer, but for how often I'm doing piston rings, it's not worth it to me to buy a $300 ring filer. One day I'll probably get upset and end up buying it, but today's not that day. I went and got my torque wrenches from work. I won't bore you with the filing rings. I'll show you a couple minutes of it, but it'll probably be time-lapse or not even filmed at all, because it's boring. And we'll go from there. Alright, guys, see you in a bit. Well, I'm getting through filing the rings. I got all the pistons assembled, ready to go. This is your first timer. You have to pay attention to which side of the rod. See how this side's got a wicked chamfer on it? And this side's flat? This side flat goes with the other side flat. Chamfer goes towards the crank. So this is number 8. It's for the other side, but it doesn't matter. So this one would go down in there, and the chamfer side would go against the crank side, not the inside. Two flat surfaces together. So we're getting through the pistons. I got the whole bank 2 done. I'm doing one now. I got, so top, middle, and what I'm doing is 25 thou, 27 thou. So we're almost at spec on this one. All right, it's almost there. Close. What I do, I ordered the little tool so you could put this thing in flush, but it didn't come in. So what I do is I have my old pistons out of my built motor, and I just take them and I sit it in flat and flush, as flush as you can be, to that ring, and it gets it good enough, you know. And then just take your feel it. We're close, probably like another thou. Filer right here. You got to make sure you're nice and flush. You gotta get this flat against the stone, or else you're gonna hate life. And I just hold it down. 1, 2. because we're that close on this one. But on the tops, I put them in, I measure them. Well, so the tops are, I'm not measuring anything with the tops because the tops are butted, brand new. So I double check, butted, yep, come over here. I take off 15 revolutions to start, and then I start honing it in. Take your time with this. There's no reason to rush this. If you're rushing this, it could turn out bad. There's no reason to rush. A little more. Yes, it's a lot of work. It's not a lot of work. It's just time-consuming work. That's all it is. You know, you only got to do 16 of them. You know, you got to do the oil rings. It's getting there. It's almost there. Perfect. So that one's done. Boom. And I have a little bit of a system. So when I do the rings, they're all numbered. Boom. You can see how some are facing this way, some are facing that way. I know that ring is done, right? So I face it up. This ring's not done. When I get a set done, it gets a check mark. It's just so my ADHD is so bad that if I don't have some sort of system, I'll completely drop the ball on all of it. So here's a fresh one, untouched. All right, this is number 2 ring for cylinder 1. Stick that in there and I'll show you what you're starting with. It's not every time. Almost completely butted. So everything's filed, ready to go on. Like I said, 25 thou, 27 thou. Cleaning the block. We're gonna ring the pistons and get the show on the road and start to get this thing together. You got your glove in there? Yeah. That's what it was.
Piece of glove stuck. God damn it, I did it again.
Might want to take your gloves off for this process. Everything's clean.
Oh, God.
You know, I clean your cylinders with ATF. I just spilled everywhere. Hey, how nasty that gets. So Dave and I are just sitting here slamming pistons in. I'm making sure that the rings are all where they're supposed to be, putting one in at a time and then torquing it and then on to the next one and follow suit. Do all 8. We get all 8 and torqued and spin the motor over and she spins nice and clean and free. Alright, the whole rotating assembly's in and torqued. We got her all situated. Whee! So can't really do a whole heck of a lot more. She moves very smoothly. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
There you go.
It looks so good and clean. I hope so. If anybody ever followed John and Nigel from Brutal Speed, this is essentially the motor they had that originally set the stock block record. K1 crank and rods and boost line pistons, I think it was. I don't even think it was boost lines back in the day.
No, I know it was K1 crank. Yeah, I think it was K1 rods, and I think it was just a set of like box stock Wiseco's.
And they went 420.
Which would be those pistons, which we know these are better.
Yeah. 420 what? 426 or something like that?
427, something like that.
Yeah, fast. So, I mean...
Fast.
So I figured it's probably solid for 450s in our hands.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like I said, I would like to go 440s with it, with mine.
Yeah, well your car's fucking 600 pounds lighter.
That's right, baby. Race car. Look at the fucking beef on those motherfuckers.
That's awesome.
So much girth.
And they're so nice. They thread in so good because the machine shop took care of everything, right?
Yep.
It's so nice.
That's it.
So, this one should be pretty stout. That's the nicest motor I've ever owned. I don't know, my Honda motor was pretty damn nice. And that was sleeved.
Yeah, that was a sleeve motor, so.
Yeah, that was pretty damn nice. That motor is nicer than this motor.
Mm-hmm.
I had like turbo tufts in it. It's stock crank though. But they also they didn't have.
You didn't really have upgrade cranks.
No, they didn't have aftermarket cranks back in the day like that. I mean, they had an Eagle, but it was weaker than a stock one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
This is like me. The nicest motor I owned was in my Subaru.
Yeah. Nicest training I owned was in that Honda. Oh, my 400's pretty nice actually. There's a lot of nice parts in that thing.
The 400 way better, way better.
There's a lot, not really any billet parts in there.
No, but you know we don't need billet parts.
Nope. Those are meaty.
Yeah.
Meaty.
Yeah, they're nice stuff. Very nice. The big boy studs. Very, very happy with those things.
Still gotta order those.
Ah, yeah, just the regular bolts.
Yeah, this might be my last fucking building of an LS.
It depends. We put that coyote in and it goes grenade on like the first or second.
Right back in.
That's it.
Hopefully I didn't sell this.
Good old boy going back in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to not sell this. That's my goal.
Well, I mean, like if you build that the whole season you're running this, provided we have no issues with anything on the car or this, you should be able to build that while running this.
Exactly. That's my plan as of right now. So I can pull this out, put it on a stand, and just have it.
Yeah.
You know.
That would be ideal.
That's my
just in case we have a whoopsies with the learning curve.
Something. You need an engine real quick before race week. We could slam it fucking in there.
Yes.
You know. It may not be a 6.2, but at least it'll be a built fucking motor that.
Right.
The only thing is you'd have to run like my intercooler or get adapted, you know, because this is cathedral.
Yeah, I would need like the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
It's your base. I'll keep the base, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean I could always order a base. Usually.
Yeah, but if I plan on keeping the motor, I'm gonna keep the intake manifold.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
so
you could still sell your intercooler if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Sell your intercooler and we could
because
just keep the base.
And use that with the coyote. It is so meaty. Look at them studs.
Yeah.
Whew.
So badass, dude.
That's fancy.
All right.
We're gonna go get. When you use any sort of parts from a blown up engine, you have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb because there will be metal left over in every little crevice and everything. I gotta spend some time cleaning this, and a whole bunch of brake cleaner in there, and then I'm gonna go wash it out with a hose and then blow it out with air. And you won't get it all, but with a clear view, at least I'll get a lot of it before anything terribly bad happens. Well, all of it I should say, but that pretty much wraps it up for this video. We're at a stopping point. I'm waiting on my oil pump to show up, waiting on my valves to show up. I ordered those both from Scotty, so when they get in, we'll get those done. I'm also waiting on my rocker stand studs. I got the billet rocker stands, so when those get here, we could get those installed. Yeah, pretty fancy billet. So you want to get the billet when you go with a set of Johnson link bars, because you have to measure for push rods with those, and this takes out the equation of cast aluminum GM ones. So you got the nice billet ones, they're machine perfect tolerances. Studs are better than bolts. You want to use the studs because it won't pull on the threads when you actually go to tighten this thing down. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not running the bolt in and out. I've seen too many aftermarket heads get stripped. Springs and retainers, we can assemble the heads, bolt the heads down. Head gaskets, BTRs over there. and then we can measure for push rods. I need push rods, I need trunnions, but I don't need the trunnions to measure for push rods because the rocker's not going to change. Rocker's still the same. And I need injectors. I keep forgetting I need injectors. All last season was borrowed injectors. I'm gonna sit here and clean my starter up. I can't wait to bolt everything in its home for good and set this thing back down in the car, because that's gonna be a good day to get this thing rolling again. My goal is to be out by May. Whether that's gonna happen or not, you know, we'll find out. It's March, what's today? March 24th, and it's simply coming down to money. Like, you know, I'm like, do I spend the money on a set of Fuel Tech 240s for $1,500, or just put another set of 210s in it for now? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, this will be the motor for 2024 while I take the time to build and collect all Coyote stuff. 2025 will be changing all this. My goal is to keep this, but we will see how that works out. I have no qualms about selling this motor in the long run. Like, intake manifold to oil pan, I'll sell this whole thing, you know, $15,000-$16,000. So definitely build a Coyote, but I would like to be able to keep this. I still have this Mustang, I still have my truck. I mean, this would be a pretty bad engine in my truck, so we'll see. Can't think that far ahead, is too far. So I gotta do one step at a time. You know, I gotta get everything done for this. So the next thing, be building the heads, getting the heads torqued onto here, oil pump, timing. That's a hell of a fight right now. This silly adjustable timing cam gear. It's got a Torrington, I think is that a Torrington bearing? Roller bearing? Whatever yeah, I think it's a Torrington bearing on the back side. And you gotta like set the gap, and silly. So we'll wrap this up. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I've talked to a couple people. A couple people have messaged me saying they've been unsubscribed a couple of times. So make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure you're getting these notifications, and yeah, we'll get you on the next one. So get in that garage, grab a cold drink, get to work on your hot rod. Have a good day.